So, hello and welcome to everyone who's here. We're still getting settled in. About another 5 minutes before we officially begin. It's great to see Tom and Jim and Karuna. Karuna outside, and looks like some very nice weather. That's great. Christina, Maiko, Pablo, Scott, Tom. Nice to see you, Tom. And we also have Adrian, Angie, Cliff, Keem, Francie, Felonius, David, Courtney, Kai, Linda, Nick, and Steve. That's great. And Closed Head. Hi there, Closed Head. Welcome in. Oh, and maybe some cat or some kind of animal there joining for meditation. Wow, that's a good dog. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Alright, so I saw someone just said in the open discussion they didn't get anything done this morning. Well, this is a time to do it. This is a time to restart and to refresh completely and fully. No better way to get something done than to do nothing. So that's why we're coming together here, to do nothing. Hi there, WMD.
Nothing is something worth doing.
Nothing is something worth doing. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's a good teaching. Hey there, Anna.
It's not yoga, it's just face mask. She sees the water and we can exchange
All right, and Noah, Tony, Chesh, and Sea Goat of Neptune joining through YouTube. That's great. We invite at this moment, we invite our demons, our difficulties, our confusions. We invite the sea goats of Neptune, the angels of the heavens, and the demons, the devils of far below, so we can start to find our meditation position. We can start to get comfortable, to stop moving around, and really start to get still. Start to find that place of stillness. Hey there, Sigan. Everyone who's here. Okay, so we find our meditation position, comfortable, stable, suitable for us at this moment. And we also find our intention. We need a lot of intention to do meditation. We don't need so much intention to eat cheese, or to eat cereal, or to prepare ramen noodles. We don't need so much intention to do that, but for meditation, it might not be immediately clear what you're getting from it, what the reward is when you start to practice. And in fact, the best meditation is done without expectation. It's done without seeking some result. And it's done without looking for this kind of reward in the next moment. So, taking all that into account, it's very easy to give up. We start to meditate, we say, well, this doesn't taste like cheese. This isn't hot chocolate. What's going on here, right? So we have to have that intention that we really do want to be introspective. We really do want to practice contemplation. We really want to be here fully at this moment. We have to have that intention to do it. So finding that intention, finding our body that is sitting here right now. We can start to take a few deep breaths. Breathing in deeply and really becoming aware that the body is here. The body isn't off in our fantasies, in our dreams, in our relationships with other people, but the body is right here, right now. As we breathe in deeply, bringing the mind, thinking mind, conceptualizing mind, working mind, relationship mind, bringing the mind home to the body. Thoughts may happen, many thoughts may happen, but we aren't participating in them. When we experience a lot of thoughts in our mind, they're not your thoughts, they're not my thoughts, but just thoughts arising, just thoughts passing away. So breathing in deeply, bringing the mind home to the body, we can begin to pick up, to practice our meditation method, our way of meditation. A good way of meditation is just to feel the breath, to notice the breath as it comes in through the nose. Simplifying our whole life, bringing our whole reality, all truth, all confusion, all success and failure. Bringing our whole focus to the entry point of the breath. The feeling of the breath flowing into our nostrils and flowing out. And so as we breathe, as we connect fully with that sensation, that feeling of the breath, flowing into our body and flowing out, we can become more and more still, more and more generous to give up, to let go of any particular thought that comes up. Any particular resistance or feeling to go somewhere else, to be somewhere else. We have that, we feel that at different times, but through our meditation method, through this very clear, very direct, feeling the breath as it comes in through our nose and goes out, we just give up. We let go of any reactivity towards what we are experiencing. Allowing the body and the mind to come together and to relax, to calm. If there's a tension in the body, if there's a pain, if there's something that grabs your attention, give your attention to it. Stay close to the meditation method and relax that tension. Relax that pain. Relax and be soft with that difficult thought, that complicated memory. Just be gentle, be patient, be aware. All through this avenue of staying close, returning to our meditation method. In the Buddhist teachings, it is said that there are 80,000 medicines for 80,000 sicknesses. There are 80,000 methods for your 80,000 distractions. It's helpful to pick one, to connect with one, and to stay close to it. Such as feeling the breath as it flows in through the nose and out. Such as focusing on and being with the sensations of the body. The awareness of the body. That can also be a meditation method. Moment by moment, breath by breath, to be distinctly aware. Continuously noticing, returning to awareness of the body. Most important is that this is a time for us to be very awake, very present, very alive. looking inside and relaxing, releasing, calming. For some of us, this may be a time to sit still, to be in community, to just breathe. To just be aware of our body sitting in stillness. Hearing sounds, we know that we are hearing sounds. Aware of the body, we know that we are aware of the body. Soft, gentle, sincere, being fully willing to be with whatever we experience at this moment. Sometimes there's a madman screaming outside. We have to be patient, be with it. We can't always change the situation, but we can be with it, be with our body, be with our mind in all the different states that come up in a way that is healing, in a way that is fearless. Breathing deeply, we connect fully with our body. Allowing the breath to find a natural rhythm. Practicing together this just breathing, just being aware of the body. This practice is always to restart and refresh, so no one is excluded. Doesn't matter how bad you are at meditation, whatever that means. But our practice is just at this moment to return, to refresh, to restart. Just breathing. Just being aware. worry about controlling your breath. Just let it happen. And especially, don't worry about worrying about controlling your breath. Just let the breath happen. And as the breath is just happening, being aware of the body. Being with the body. You can feel the heart in the chest. Notice how subtle, soft, or perhaps notice the absence. Maybe when we look for the heart with our attention, we find space. Looking at that very closely in the heart area. We can feel a sense of deep gratitude and appreciation for our heart. We can also be aware of our lungs. Or perhaps the spaciousness where we expect our lungs to be. Maybe this whole lungs thing isn't what we think it is, but more of an experience, something to feel for ourselves, something to be aware of for ourselves at this moment. Thich Nhat Hanh once gave a story about being very, very sick, and at that time it was so painful to breathe, so difficult. So as we are able to breathe openly, deeply, to breathe fresh air, there's a real beauty about it. Thich Nhat Hanh expressed how much more valuable the breath was after noticing how painful it could be. Just breathing can be a source of incredible pleasure, incredible healing. Just breathing can be so nutritious, so stabilizing, so grounding. So continuing to be with the breath deeply, with so much sincerity. As this breath opens us up more and more to our true nature. This nature of peace, well-being, healing. This nature of impermanence. No self, no soul, no thinker. At least at this moment, just breathing and being aware. No need for all these extra layers of me, my, I, self, and other. Just the experience of this moment to be complete. Not to add anything, not to take anything away. to restart and refresh. Every interruption, a joyous reminder, a celebration of this moment to be at peace. This moment to recognize so fully, so deeply, so completely all the factors of happiness, of peace, that are fully accessible to you right now. You don't even need to move your body to reach out and grab these factors of happiness, these factors of healing. Even without moving our body, they are fully accessible, fully present. The breath flowing in and out. Presence of our body that is so still. Everything that has happened, that has led up to this moment, all for the sake of being at peace, taking refuge in this peace, this stillness. All noises, all distractions, all the complicated ideas that we come up with and hold on to, they all return to this peace, this calm. We too can also return to this calm, this peace, simply by bringing our mind back to the breath. To this awareness of the body. And taking that responsibility to be a healer, a caretaker, a relaxer of any tensions, tightness, worries that come up. Gentle and soft, applying this healing medicine of awareness, of presence, of care, compassion. We are aware of that suffering, that difficulty. We want it to reduce, we want it to calm. We want that tightness and that tension to relax, to release. who better to hold the lamp of our loving, kind, compassionate awareness than ourselves at this moment with each breath. To embrace and accept the whole body, the whole mind at this moment. Through this meditation method of just breathing, just being aware. So we can say that as meditation practitioners, we are gardeners of the mind. And when we begin meditation, oftentimes the soil of our mind, of our life, has become dry, cracked, difficult to plant seeds, difficult to water, difficult to be in that garden because it's so barren, so dry. When we bring to the garden of our mind this mindfulness, this meditation, this attention, the soil moistens. And as we continue practicing, as we have a difficulty, have a distraction, and then we come back, we return, we practice, that soil becomes opened. It becomes mixed up. We prepare the soil to receive seeds. The seeds of our intentions, to follow the path of healing, of awakening. Seeds to practice moral behavior, to abstain, to move away from unskillfulness, to move towards more and more wholesome qualities of mind, wholesome actions, selfless actions. Generosity for the sake of generosity. Kindness for the sake of kindness. Gentleness for the sake of gentleness. Just sitting for the sake of just sitting. Just breathing. For the purpose of just breathing. As we come towards the end of our time together, let us take a few minutes of our practice to plant some seeds of metta, some seeds of loving kindness in this fertile soil. This moistened and ready to receive seeds soil. So with our sincerity, with our full heart, we can repeat together these phrases of metta, these phrases of loving kindness. Using the inner voice, the voice inside of us, the voice of our mind. So often we let it just run on the treadmill of doing whatever it wants. But now we can direct that voice to cultivate these seeds of loving kindness. Repeating after me. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May my mind be calm. May my body be healthy. May I be free from all fear. May I be free from all fear. This time we can bring to mind someone who we love, someone who we really care about. Might even be a pet, but bringing to mind that being that we really love, we really care about them, bringing them to our mind. Repeating after me. May you be happy and at peace. May you be free from fear. May you be happy. May you be full of joy. May you be healthy. Now bringing to mind someone who we have difficulties with. Doesn't need to be our mortal enemy, doesn't need to be our arch nemesis, but just someone who we've had some difficulties with, or a being that we've had difficulties with. Saying to them, may you be happy. May you be brave. May you be free from suffering. May your life be peaceful. Finally, we can bring our hands together, all of us bringing our hands together. And we can really allow the awareness of our body and this, at the very least, this sincerity, this willingness to be loving and kind, and hopefully this energy of loving kindness, allowing that to expand outwards in all directions, to fill up the room that we're in, to expand outward into the village, the town, just expanding as wide as we feel able and comfortable to do, as well as expanding internally to all those different parts of our mind, different parts of ourselves, things we like, things we don't like. Allowing this energy of loving kindness to expand outwardly and inwardly. And all of us repeating together, may all beings be happy and at peace. May all beings be safe and free from fear. May all aspects of myself be at peace. May all parts of myself be at peace. May all beings throughout time and space be free. May I be free. May all beings be free. May it be so. May it be so. May it really be so. At this time, all together, we will chant Sadhu 3 times to put a pin of recognition of our wholesomeness, of our sincerity, of our skillfulness, to celebrate, to recognize that this is a good thing and we have done it. We can all chant together Sadhu 3 times. Okay, at this time we can slowly start to move. Can do some self-massage, to do some stretch. And if anyone has any question or would like to share about their meditation experience, then we have some time for that, some time for sharing.
I'd like to share something.
Okay, go ahead.
In the beginning of the meditation, I was having a lot of thoughts based on pride. And at some point, like when you talked about the medicines, these 80,000 medicines, I thought, what's the medicine for pride? And then when we were doing the last part, the loving kindness, I really felt that ease of that sensation, of that tightness around pride. So I wanted to share that and maybe ask you about pride.
Okay, that's quite a nice question. I think you answer it for yourself in a good way. I think you experience for yourself the answer to that question. To give up, to let go, to take whatever is worthy of being prideful and to offer it, to share it, to generate a loving kindness, to generate generosity. The more prideful we become, the more selfish we become, the more suffering we have, the more we have to lose, the more our back hurts, the more our shoulders hurt when we're so prideful. So giving up, letting go, sharing those benefits that you get from meditation, we don't hold on to them. Even, this hour of meditation, we give up, we let go of all that. And we continue to do the work, to do the practice, especially for others, especially in helping others. Pride is quite silly. We don't need to take ourselves so seriously. To be practical is important, and there's a practicality that comes with the benefits that you can bring, the skillful ways that you can act from a position of status or a position of experience. But if you hold on to that so strongly, if you're so prideful about it, you're not really going to be able to be skillful because you're just focused on yourself. So the first steps in the path: stabilize the mind, calm the mind, settle the mind, stop getting so worked up about ourself, our emotion, our thought. So what? We have to do that beginning to heal, to settle, to calm, to relax. Everything's going to be okay. And then when we get to some experience, when we get to some depth, to some healing, to some peace, we offer it, we share it with those people around us, and we also offer it, we share it in our own practice. We continue, we double down, we reinvest. We don't just hoard this peacefulness. So don't take too seriously. That's a good solution to pride. Don't take yourself too seriously. And then to be generous, to give it up. Whatever you get, to give it up, to give it away, to share it wholeheartedly. Especially with the loving kindness that's not going to be so prideful when you are being loving and kind to other people. Pride isn't helpful in that. So that's a great question. Thank you. And thank you for the answer that you shared in that question about the loving kindness. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.
That's funny. You actually described exactly what I just experienced. As practice progresses and meditation grows deeper, there can be visceral insight experiences that kind of reveal some sort of deeper truth about the nature of reality. And in the moment, it just is what it is. And there's no concept about it. And you can share it, you can use a tool to share it, a tool of concepts to share it and relate it as best as you can and point to it. But after the fact, the mind wants to take credit for it. Say, oh, this is mine and I attained this truth. And as soon as the mind wants to take credit for it and grasp it, it vanishes completely. It's like trying to grab water with your hands in the ocean. You're immersed in the ocean, but you never grab onto the water. It's just kind of slip through your fingers every time. So when you said in the meditation, you said at one point you said, give up your complicated ideas and return to the peace. that's when I realized, oh, I'm holding on to these insights that were an experience, not an intellectual framing. And then that made me recognize that what's important is not a deeper truth about reality. What's important in spirituality is the peace, the simplicity of peace, and the perfume of peace that comes along with that. No matter how wild or mystical it can get, the signature of progress is a deeper relaxation and peace.
Thank you so much, Scott. The perfume of peace. Not a cheap perfume, but everyone like it. So if you invest, if you're smart, if you're skillful, then you can have it for free. The most expensive perfume.
I just happened to find this just now on the YouTube streaming, and it's not a cool Discord server, but so I'm late. I didn't see the meditation, but I've been struggling a lot lately with my meditation practice because I'm afraid some sort of traumatic event happened to me, and every time I sit down and close my eyes, I'm afraid that those obsessive thoughts will arise, and so. I can't even do walking meditation or like sitting down with my eyes closed. And I used to have that was a everyday thing for me. I used to meditate twice a day, 45 minutes, and then loving kindness meditation at night. And now I'm just distracting myself. And I was wondering if there, what I could do. Do I just have to wait until like my mind heals a little bit more before I can sit in meditation and with my eyes closed and watch the breath? I don't know how to get back to it, how to get back to meditation.
Well, you're in a meditation group right now, but for a lot of these kinds of issues, you coming from a Western background, and to get a Western therapy, to get a psychotherapy, that's what a lot of people need to do. Now, it's a privilege for people to be able to do that. We all would like to go and see the hottest psychologist, the most well-known at the time psychologist in Wall Street. We'd all like to have a trip and lay on that leather couch, okay? But it's a privilege. We can't all afford that. Even to get into a basic therapy or anything like that can be very difficult. It's a privilege that many people don't have. So what I will say is that you need to be very gentle, and perhaps to look into listening to some teachings. I don't know about you. I don't know about your background. We never talked before, as far as I know. So I can't give so much advice, but there are a lot of wonderful talks, wonderful teachings by the sweetest, most compassionate, most loving and gentle people. And oftentimes that can bring a very sweet essence of compassion and peace into our mind and into our life. So listening to some of those talks could be helpful. But be careful. It does sound like you're in a vulnerable state. So be careful and be gentle and be patient. Whatever it is will surely pass. But you're welcome here. And go ahead and send me a DM, send me a message, and I will share some resources with you. I could just put them in voice text as well, but if you just tag me in voice text and ask for those recommendations, that's also fine for some talks you can listen to. But you're not alone. A lot of people going through this kind of thing. That's why a lot of people are here, because they have a mental health issue, because they have a suffering. That's why the Buddha became the Buddha, because he recognized suffering. Not because he recognized how wonderful it is to be a prince and have pleasures in his life. So recognizing suffering is good, but we really need to be careful, to be gentle. We don't want to make anything worse. All right, so I'm glad you're here, Ivan. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Bante.
Yeah, yeah,
That helps a lot. Thank you.
okay.
I guess I just wanted to ask a question and also share something from this morning, which I think you said. That you let like those changing thoughts and feelings be like fuel for the fire of your awareness, or something like that. I might be butchering that, but I quite like that idea, and I found it helped me in my practice to maintain that awareness like longer than I would otherwise before I broke away and started getting lost in thought. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to ask about the loving kindness portion of the meditation today. I guess I found it quite difficult to speak aloud in my mind those words of loving kindness. I don't know why. When I say them out, when I vocalize them, I can feel. I can really like feel that loving kindness. But
Yeah.
when it was silent, it was more difficult for me. So I was wondering, is there anything I can do to strengthen that sort of voice inside
Yeah.
my mind?
Well, you do it by practicing it. Okay, you're finding out what it's like to use that voice in that way, in a more subtle way. Okay, a more refined way. And you know, sometimes we are in a group setting, especially, you know, if we were all in the room together, for example, you have to be very careful about how you're breathing. You have to be very careful about everything, your movement, the way that you hold your body. It's a very sensitive environment. And even, I'm sure, people who turn on their camera, people who join in our group call, it's a sensitive environment. And even more so when you are together in the same space. So keeping that in mind, it's very useful that our meditation practice can be inside. And for metta, the same way, to do it inside. But for you, if you in your room and if you alone, don't worry too much about disturbing another. Practice it in a comfortable way, and then over time, as you developing your metta, you know, as you developing your connection to speaking that way and expressing that way, then you can bring it into the mind. Be a little bit more subtle, a little bit more deep. And a lot of our practicing of metta is this finding out about, this exploring, well, what is it like to use my mind in this way, to use my thoughts in this way, instead of just, you know, people have different ways of thinking. Some people have a constant dialogue in their head, you know, with their voice. Some people have less thoughts, but it's you have a kind of undercurrent of desire, of affliction, you know, why am I going there and not there, or certain relationship situation comes up and then you're really in your thoughts. So it's a learning process, how you use this and how you relate to yourself in that way. So it's great. And the analogy that you brought up about this from this morning or whenever it was, is that those pains, like right now I'm sitting here right? Sitting here in a meditation position, and I can feel the pains in my knees. That's usually a place where it comes up, is in the knees. And rather than taking like, oh, I'm feeling pain in my knees, I'm about to die. I need to pay, I need to move. I need to go and do something else. I need to do something. I need to move. Instead of reacting to it that way, those sticks, those distractions, those little tiny pain sensations, they're reminders to continue. They're reminders to be more and more aware, not to just, I need to react, I need to do something, I need to go somewhere, but it's just to be more and more aware. And eventually, if you're more and more aware of those sensations, of those reactive emotions, of those thoughts, then you have a deeper understanding of them, and eventually a different relationship with them. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Felonious Punk. And of course, you're always invited to use a more personal name, such as your first name or a nickname, Felonious. It's up to you, of course, but it's great. You look like a Felonious Punk, so it's fitting. Whatever a Felonious Punk is, but it's a nice name. But first names are good too. So up to you. Up to you. All right. Anyone else have something?
I had a question about the body shamatha and the breath. So when you said, okay, you can use the breath as an object of concentration and rest the attention there, or then you also suggested the body. I'm curious, when you say the body, do you mean just every sensation of the body that's happening at that moment? And is the breath included in it? Is the breath part of that?
Yeah, it's just to be aware of the body, the sensations of the body. If there's a strong pain or something like that, to be fully aware of that. And in general, to be aware of the body. So the body is here. The body is there. And you can be aware of it, right? So being aware of the body is just returning to that kind of recognition, like the body is here. If that's too vague, if that's too general for you, then that method's not going to work. And we try different methods. So you can try focusing on the breath. But the real intention of these sessions and this kind of guided practice is to put you into a position to really consider, well, what meditation method am I going to apply? I'm sick of listening to this guy. Right? It's really ideal and it's wonderful if we have some bodhisattvas or if we have some practitioners here who they come and join, they practicing with us, but they actually have their method that they're following, and they're just kind of listening. They're appreciating the guidance and the overall environment. But we all have to find a meditation method, a way of practicing, and every meditation method is very clear, very direct, for the most part, especially for samatha. You pick an object, you focus on that object, you get distracted, and you come back to it. You can do a mantra, but we don't need to shop around so much. We more need to find ourselves in a position where we actually want to check on, well, what's a mantra? Can you tell me about that? Maybe I'll try that. Or, like you're saying, well, what exactly about the body should I be aware of? Sensations in the body, the overall experience of the body. And if you're practicing breath meditation, then some people will say you should only focus on the sensations around the nostrils, very fine, very refined sensations. Some people will say, to feel the breath in the body. So there's a lot of different approaches to it. But we just keep coming back, we keep trying, and then eventually, you'll say to me, look, tell me what meditation method to do. I don't know what to do. Or you'll say to someone, or you'll have that sharpness where you're ready to fully try a meditation method, or to try another one, to look for another one if what you're doing isn't working for you. If it's too vague, if it's too general, if it's just isn't comfortable for you. So there's many methods of meditation, but awareness of the breath, being aware of the breath as it's happening, being aware of the body that's here, in whatever way that it happens to be here, it's here. Otherwise, how are you, who, if there's somebody here who doesn't have a body, then that's concerning, or that's amazing. So we all have a body, and it's being aware of the body that you have at this moment. And then the practice of just breathing, just being aware, this is a more kind of open meditation method that relies on your kind of more about open awareness. And rather than returning back to one particular sensation or one particular place of sensation, it's more that you are aware. You are aware of awareness. Okay, you're aware that the body is here. You're aware that breathing is happening, and you're also just breathing. You're just being aware. So we'll keep meeting, we'll keep practicing, and we'll see what comes up, how our meditation method changes and grows over time. Because I don't have, you should do this method because it's the best. It's really up to you what you do. And I have experience in different methods, but for guided meditations, this is what I'm most comfortable with. Just getting into that relaxed, open, and aware state, and staying with that. So being aware of the body, breathe in, and as you're breathing in, you feel the breath coming into the body, and be aware of that. And over time, you'll notice a pain, or you'll notice a different area of your body. You can even do body scanning, kind of body scanning meditation, and that's also awareness of your body. All right? Is it okay, Scott?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I just wanted to say is I really appreciate the fluidity of your guided meditations, that you go from different technique to technique, and I wouldn't say that I'm at the place where I want to just pick one and stick with it. It's just sitting here. It's the peace is contagious almost. You just sit here and I listen to you talk, and you're just fluid with it, and you're relaxed, and it just kind of just communicates itself almost by osmosis, and then I end up just relaxing at some point, just something you say, it just strikes a chord at some point, and then it's good,
Yeah, just breathing, just being aware, and at any point, if it becomes complicated thinking, you're just sitting there in your car and you're breathing. And from a place of peace, it's an entry point to going deeper and deeper into reality, into the nature of your mind, the nature of your life. Now, if you're doing some kind of psychedelic research, just sitting in your car and breathing, you might be burning in hell. You might be in this kind of fugue, intense state of, oh my God, I'm just breathing, just being aware. And that's because it is very intense. It's very intimate. It's very alive to be a human being and to just sit and just breathe and just be aware. It's very healing to just do that and to not be so involved in complicated thinking. All right. Anyone else have question or? Yeah, thank you, Scott. Question or something to share? Okay. Just want to read some comment from the people on YouTube before we finish up. BA says, pleased to see you again. I cannot meditate alongside right now, but I see your efforts to guide others, us, and appreciate it. Okay, BA. Zeros says, such a peaceful way to meditate next to a crackling fire and be guided by Bhante. The crackling fire won't always be here, so don't get too used to that. I expect that people will still join and meditate with me when there's no crackling fire. What of? Yes, so glad I found y'alls. I'm really loving this. Thank you all. And Michelle, who's a bit of a friend, a bit of a supporter, says, I come in feeling like a roaring snake, maybe a snake emoji or a dragon emoji, and through this practice, calm my dragon and am able to not burn others around me. Thank you to this group and to the great Dragon King. I'm also thankful to the great Dragon King. And Noah says, thank you for guiding us. Love your streams. All right, so we will wrap up about an hour and a half together, so that's quite good. Meditating, and we can just say 3 sadhus to finish up. Okay, we can all say it together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Right. Thank you, dear friends, dear fellow practitioners, for joining, and see you again soon. Take care. Thank you to Chesh. All right, goodbye, YouTube.